Okay, so if I say the word comfort, what is the first thing that is spring to your mind? Comfort. Matka.
Comfort, it's something comfortable. So confortevole or yes,
What do
agio.
you think? Yes.
Agio. It's a
And
kind
you,
of
Anna,
agio.
what is the first image that you see if I say comfort?
A good situation.
And you, Gianmaria, you're smiling.
The sofa.
The sofa, yeah. The sofa, yeah. And you, Elena?
When I'm sure, when I'm protect, when I
Protect, yeah.
myself.
Interesting. Yeah. And you,
But-
Anto, what do you think about comfort?
Comfort when my friends or my parents or my family need to award for comfort. If I have a
Comfort, yes.
problem,
That's exactly what where I would like to lead you to an expression that is now very much used, but is something that is interesting to discuss. That is the phrase comfort food.
oh yes,
Comfort
yes,
food.
comfort
Of
food.
course,
Yeah.
comfort food. Okay, so today we're gonna discuss about comfort food, but not just comfort food, even food in different, looking from a different point of view, not just what you like and you don't like, but what is behind food. So comfort food, to introduce you to this comfort food, I'd like you to listen to a short podcast, the usual 6 minutes podcast that is about comfort food that I'm going to share it with you. And then we start to discuss on this comfort food. It's an audio, it's not a video, so the picture is still the same. It's not you that you're not working, but it's okay.
6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Rob.
I see you've been tucking into the biscuits again, Rob.
Well, I have, Neil. You can't beat a bite on a biscuit for a quick and easy sweet treat. They make me feel good, as long as I don't eat too many.
So these are your edible comforters. A comforter is something that makes you feel relaxed and feel good. Put another way, it is your comfort food, which is what we're talking about in this programme.
Yes, like biscuits, comfort food is snacks and meals we like to stuff our faces with, even if it's not always good for us. We'll be discussing what actually makes us eat the stuff.
But how about a question to feast on, Rob? Patrick Bertoletti from the USA holds the Guinness World Record for eating the most cream-filled biscuits in 1 minute. But do you know how many biscuits he ate? Was it A, 2, B, 7, or C, 15?
Well, based on my biscuit eating skills, I'd say 15. It depends if he had to swallow them as well.
I'm not sure about that, but I'll reveal the answer later on. Now, biscuits, ice cream, crisps, and pizzas are all good examples of comfort food. They're easy to snack on and they don't require many culinary skills. Culinary means related to cooking.
Well, that makes sense, but there must be something else that is urging us to seek out this easy food.
Finish.
Sorry.
Asked on BBC World Service and said her comfort food was macaroni and cheese, something that brings back memories.
At some point in my life, those were foods that were made for me or shared with me by people who cared about me and loved me and took care of me. So because those are the foods that I had in my youth, I've associated them with sort of those feelings of being taken care of. And those associations are strong. The associations we have with food are very strong. And so by eating those foods, I'm able to activate those associations and give myself a rush of positive feelings and a sense of acceptance.
So, like so many of us, Shira associates eating certain types of food with past experiences from her youth. Associates means makes a connection in your mind with something.
And these connections between food and memories are very strong. I know eating biscuits reminds me of eating them after school as a treat.
Well, Shira explains how we get a rush, a sudden and strong emotion of positive feelings when these memories are activated by eating comfort food.
And it's not just memories that are activated, but also the emotions we feel as well. If we felt happy the first time we ate the food, then hopefully we'll feel happy when we eat it again.
It's not always that simple, Rob. Tucking into food that's high in carbohydrates, sugar, or salt can make us feel guilty. But we don't realize our minds are trying to trigger or start a positive emotion, and it's making us eat that food to do so.
The Food Chain podcast explores this in more detail. But what is interesting is that comfort food isn't universal. Some languages don't have a comparable phrase.
It's a good point, and something food writer Jenny Linford talked about. Here's her theory on why that is.
Talking to Italian friends, I've realised that no, they don't have a phrase for comfort food. I think it's sort of irrelevant. My Italian friends I asked about comfort food, they said to me, look, food is always comfort and always pleasure, and it's a joyful thing. So it's just really interesting that, this idea of comfort food is not universal. It's actually quite nuanced.
So according to Jenny's Italian friends, all food brings comfort and pleasure. Talking about specific comforting food is irrelevant. It's not important or has no connection with the discussion.
Yes, she thinks the concept of comfort food is quite nuanced, depending on where you are from, so there are small but important differences.
Well, maybe we should take comfort from, or feel less bad about, the fact that eating any kind of food can bring us joy, warmth, happiness and comfort. So, if you don't mind, I think I'll munch on another biscuit.
Are you trying to beat the record of Patrick Bertoletti from the USA? Earlier I mentioned he holds the Guinness World Record for eating the most cream-filled biscuits in 1 minute. But how many biscuits did he eat? Was it A, 2, B, 7 or C, 15?
I thought he ate 15. Was I right?
No, Rob, he scoffed only 7 in 1 minute, so maybe you can beat him. But before you do, let's recap on some of the vocabulary we've been discussing.
Of course, we've been talking about comfort food, food that makes us feel good, and we described it as a comforter, something that makes us feel relaxed and feel good.
We also mentioned culinary, connected to cooking.
And associated, which means made a connection in our mind with something.
Something that is irrelevant is not important or has no connection with the discussion taking place.
And something that is nuanced has small but important differences.
Finally, when you take comfort in something, you don't feel so bad because of something else.
Well, Neil, we're out of time, but let's take comfort in knowing that there are lots more 6-minute English programmes to enjoy on our website at bbclearningenglish.com.
We also have an app that you can download for free from the app stores. And of course, we are all over social media.
Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So let's get
Sorry,
to-
I have
Tell
a
me.
problem to hear better because the volume. I
Was
try to
too low.
le cuffie.
Headphones.
I try just a minute.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to send you this audio so you can listen to it again. So I'm going now to share this notes about the listening that we just listened now. Okay, so that was the question that they were asking at the beginning. So Patrick Bartoletti from the USA holds the Guinness World Record for eating the most cream-filled biscuits in 1 minute. How many biscuits did he hit? Do you remember how many there were?
7.
7.
Yes, very good. There were 7. And then the little vocabulary they were just pointing out at the end: comforter, something that makes us feel relaxed and feel good; culinary, connected to cooking; associated, made a connection in our mind with something. That is when usually they say comfort food is when we associate with something in our memory, in our past, some good experience. Irrelevant, that is not important or has no connection with the discussion taking place. Nuanced, small but important differences. And take comfort, don't feel so bad because of something else. So these were a little bit. Have you got any question on it? How was it? Do you agree with what they were saying about Italian people? Because they would say that this concept of comfort food is not universal. For example, doesn't exist in Italy. Do you remember why they say that? Because for Italian people, food is always comfort. It's always a comfort. So this is so. In fact, in Italia, we don't have a similar expression in Italian that say comfort food. We say comfort food in English because how could you say in Italian? I don't think there's any expression that you can use because Italian people usually for Italian people, food is very important, and we know food very well, and we love food. So even eating, it's an important moment. That's why for us, comfort food is always a comfort. But do not forget that for other, let's say, cultures, like British people, sometimes they just eat to survive. They don't care about what they actually eat. And just when the food is good, is really fantastic, or is associated with a past experience, that's the important, that is becoming very important to them. Otherwise, they don't say that. But let's get into a bit. Do you agree with it? Do you agree that for Italian people, food is always a comfort?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So we don't just eat to survive.
No.
We eat because we won't even survive, of course, but enjoy. Food without enjoying, usually it's a diet.
Magari.
Okay. Elena, how often do you cook?
I cook just at weekends, and because normally cooks my partner, my friend. I cook on Sunday,
Sunday.
on Sunday.
On Sunday, yes. And you, Antonella, how often do you cook?
Often, I don't remember.
Every day.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Once a week. When?
All day.
Every day.
So you
Every
cook
day. Every day, yes, because I have my son.
Okay.
Every day.
Otherwise, poor baby.
Today, no.
Starve.
Today, no.
Today, no. Today,
No.
you're not cooking.
Yeah.
And you, Anna, do you cook every day?
Every day. at noon and in the evening.
So twice a day.
And twice.
Yeah, fantastic. And you, Gianmaria, how often do you cook?
I stay alone in not present my wife. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I specialize to cooking with my barbecue.
Okay, that's a good. So not every day, I suppose.
Not every day. No, sure, not every day. But I cook fish.
Yeah,
It's
good.
important for me.
So let's
I
say
do.
on special occasions.
No special occasion. But when I want, when is a no hard day,
Of course.
often I try to new dish.
New dish. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And you, Marka, do you like
Well,
cooking? How often do you
Well,
cook?
yes, I like because I cook for lunch, for dinner because otherwise I'm hungry. I like food very much,
So
so
are you
I don't
cooking just for
listen.
yourself or for other people?
It depends. If I'm
Okay.
alone, I cook for myself.
Good.
But usually I have a family, so I cook, and they like it too. They like
Of
my
course.
dishes. They like my dishes
So you're a good cook. You're a good cook.
because
No,
I like to
don't-
eat. Because I like it. I like to eat, so that's why I'm cooking. Yeah.
Ah.
I prefer to buy.
Yeah, buy already
Yeah.
cooked food.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I do the same, and not always, but sometimes even because sometimes it's even cheaper to buy food already prepared than
Yeah.
cooking food. You know. Okay, now let's try to match these words and these phrases with a correct definition below. So we have just, of course, there's a sentence, you read the sentence, but then you have to explain just the word that is underlined. For example, is range. Anna, would you like to start?
Okay. The restaurant offers a wide range of Italian dishes.
Okay, so let's get what is a range.
I think a choice or variety of different things.
Yes, it's a
A.
choice or variety of different things. Yes, very good. And 2, Antonella, could you please read it, number 2?
Yeah. He tends to stick to the same meals every day. He just won't try anything new.
Okay, so stick to. To stick to. What could be the meaning of stick to? Have a look of all of them and think which one is the
Stick to. Please, it's possible to read.
Yeah.
New. Okay, thank
the
you.
same meals every day. It just won't try anything new.
Okay. I think a set of instructions for preparing a dish.
Stick to, that is a verb. Be careful because stick to is a verb. And be a set of instruction for preparing a dish should probably be a noun. So I don't think it's stick to.
F.
You think F, to continuously do one particular thing and not change to something else. Yes, to stick to. So which kind of expression could you use in Italian instead of say to stick to?
proporre sempre la stessa cosa.
Yes, it's so long, this one. Try to
Monotono.
monotono. I would say è fissato.
Ah,
È fissato con lo stesso. Stick to, because, you know, it's sticky means adhere. So
Sorry,
to,
Paola.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't read the if.
Because
but I don't know.
It was too low for you.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I see. Because unfortunately, if I go up and down, you are probably vomiting.
No, yeah.
So I was finished here, but if your device is smaller, probably doesn't come out the last.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Antonella.
No.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
why
but
you couldn't find it.
I don't know how can to read.
Yeah,
I don't know
sure.
how.
So stick, I was telling you, is when something is sticky, appiccicoso. So when somebody is stick to something, means that è attaccato a un'idea, che non vuole, doesn't want to change.
Okay.
In Italian, we don't say probably, say è fissato a fare sempre la stessa cosa, or what do you say, Gian Maria?
Ottuso?
No, because it's not something that you're, it's nothing to do with your intelligence. It's just that you like to do always the same thing. Yeah, always the same thing. Yeah, un po' fissato.
Perhaps I said.
Yes, could be. Yeah. Matka, number 3.
Yeah. We know that your exam results are impressive. There's no need to boast all the time.
Okay, now the word that we look for is boast. Let me go up. Okay. Do you see up to H? Yes.
Yes, seems yes.
Okay. Boast.
Let's see. Taking a lot of time? No.
No, it is a verb. H, you think, Anna?
Yes.
H.
To speak too proudly about yourself. Yes. To be vain. Okay. Boast.
Okay. So
boast. Vantarsi.
Vantarsi.
Yeah, speak proudly about yourself. Okay. When you speak it, there's no need to boast all the time. Very good. Okay.
Very bad.
Very bad. No, it's just, new words are new. Otherwise, they weren't new. They were old words. Elena, number 4.
Number 4. Do you know a good recipe for chocolate? Recipe for chocolate cake?
Yes.
Do you know a good recipe?
I know it's a strange word to pronounce.
B, a set of instructions for preparing a dish.
That's it, the recipe. Be careful because unfortunately the pronunciation is strange. I know recipe. A lot of people, they do get confusion with receipt, but the receipt is what you get when you pay something and they give you this piece of paper. That's the receipt. Nothing to do with recipe. Recipe is where you the instruction to prepare food. Okay, Gian Maria, number 5.
Don't blame him for what happened. It wasn't his fault.
Yes. Blame.
Okay. Blame. The taste, food or drink in your mouth?
No.
No, perché lui non lo sa.
Blame. Don't blame him for what happened.
Forse
It wasn't
rimproverare,
his fault.
G.
Which one?
riprendere.
Yes, it is. Similar. You are on the right path, but it. So was which letter is the definition?
G.
G.
G. Yeah, that's it. Very good. G. To say or think that someone or something is responsible for something bad.
Yeah.
In formal language, we could say to accuse, but accuse is the word coming from French and is usually used just at court, in the law language, but usually blame. Okay, is the right word. 6, Anna.
She didn't want to admit that she had made a mistake. To agree that something is true, even if you don't want to.
Yeah.
E.
Yes, of course. So admit, that is similar to, yes, admit it. You could understand. Anto,
Yes.
we got on
7.
7, yes.
This cheese has a very strong flavor.
Yeah. Flavor. What's a flavor?
Flavor, I think that is the taste of
It
food.
is. It
Yeah.
is. It
The
is.
taste of the drink is in your mouth.
Yeah. So the flavor is the taste.
The taste, exactly.
Taste that you
Yeah.
have in your mouth. The
Yeah.
flavor. Yeah. And Metcon, last one, that is 8.
Cooking a meal for 10 people is very time consuming. You need a few hours or more.
Yes.
Taking a lot of time.
Taking a lot of time. Yeah, time consuming.
Yeah.
Time consuming. That's okay. So these are all words. Now, this one I'm not gonna let you do it because but I will give you this article, because here we have an article on cooking habits of British people, and there are some information. So you're going to read it by yourself after the lesson, wherever you wish, and you try to find out these words. Okay, so there are almost numbers. So the average, remember average. How could you explain, Gianmaria, average? It's a mathematical word.
Average.
Average.
I don't remember.
La media?
Yes, it is. I'd like you to explain in Italian, in English, sorry. Yeah, for example, if you got 5 chickens and Elena's got 10 chickens, the average is 7.5 chicken each. Okay, so the average. So you have to find out in this article the average number of dishes that British people cook. I think very low. The average number of dishes cooked by British men. The average number of dishes cooked by British women. The average number of dishes cooked by British people aged between 45 and 54. The number of people who cook spaghetti bolognese every week. For them. the number of plates of pasta eaten in the UK every week, and the number of roast dishes eaten every week. And then last, the number of Britons who eat stir-fry dishes every week. What are stir-fry? What are stir-fry dishes?
The dish fried.
Yeah, a fried
dish?
dish.
The
A fried dish.
fried
Yeah.
dish.
A fried dish. A
Fried
fried
dish.
dish. Yeah, they do
Potatoes
fry.
fry and then
Yeah, fried potatoes,
chicken
everything
fry,
is
yeah.
fry. Okay, so you're going to read it this afterward when you wish. But now, end this one with true or false. That is a reading and comprehension. Okay. But now we are going to find a word or phrase in the text which means, even without reading, but they give us the paragraph. So we have to look very fast into the paragraph and find out a word. So I show you the paragraph after, that you find a word that means not exactly and is an adjective. You can even think it now, if you know, without watching, not exactly as an adjective. What could you say? Paragraph 3.
Okay.
Approximately.
Approximately. Yeah, that's it. Approximately means exactly.
Not exact.
Yes, not exactly. Okay, the other one is said, but it may or may not be true. Said, but it may or may not be true. And it's a verb. Paragraph 6. Okay, this one. Find out a verb that means that somebody say, but it could be true or not.
Confidence.
No, even because it's not
admitted.
Admitted. Admitted is not.
Put them into action. Put into.
No.
Claimed.
Claimed, yes.
Cos'è?
It's claimed. Claimed. We can be careful because claimed, we sometimes think on the Italian word reclamare, but it's not. Claim to be 2 in 3, claim to be very interested in new ideas. E quando diciamo claimed, possiamo tradurlo con il si dice. È detto, si dice, perché è come se, vedete, 2 in 3 claim to be very interested. Si dice che 2 su 3 siano molto interessati in nuove idee, ma non è detto che sia vero questa cosa, può essere o può non essere. Per cui quando vedete non solo persone che affermano su una base scientifica, ma che dicono questa cosa e non sappiamo se sia vero o no. In quel caso usiamo il verbo to claim, dire un qualcosa che per noi è vero, ma potrebbe non esserlo. Anche questa è una parola difficile da tradurre precisamente. Another word that means new and modern, moving forward, and is an adjective. New and modern, moving forward. This, I think that you find it. And this in here, 9. New, moving forward. Something new that is moving forward.
Progressive.
Very good, Matka. Yes, progressive. Progressive is a word that we use even in Italy. I mean, yeah. Well, when we say somebody that is progressista, somebody that is following the progress, okay, in all meaning. So progressive is something new that is moving forward. Then we have the number of different types of dishes that someone is able to cook. Okay, it's a phrase, the number of different type of dishes that someone is able to cook. We don't have a word similar in Italian. Maybe no. And this is in paragraph 10.
Culinary range.
It's a culinary range. Yeah, culinary range. So each one has got its own culinary range where you feel strong in cooking something or something else. Or if you have a very limited culinary range, means that you are sticked to your menu. Okay. And last one, a change from the original flavor. Okay, and it's a noun. So a change of the original flavor.
More variety? No.
No, che paragrafo? 11.
Sorry, it's
11.
11.
Yeah, it's was I forgot. I forgot. Let me go down. 11. Yes.
11.
And no, because I was thinking that this word we already found last lesson. Give a new flavor.
I forgot the phrase. My God.
Purpose.
No, unfortunately, it's at the bottom, so you should read the whole paragraph. It's quite long.
To give the dish a twist.
A twist, yes. Give the dish a twist. You add something, a new flavor, okay?
Un tocco in più.
Yes, that's it. That's it. So you see, there are all words that actually are difficult to translate with just one single word, one expression. But they are very British way of doing it. Okay. Oh, this is very nice because we are getting into a bit of vocabulary. So we have a table that is divided into 5 columns: meat, fish, and seafood, fruit and vegetables, herbs, dish, and cooking method. So there are different categories all of them under the big category of food. And this is what I mean when I was talking to you about help me, when you put everything in group, all the words they are, oh gosh, doesn't come out. The system, you know, when you start from a category and then you go on different other category.
Mappe concettuali.
Yes, that's it. Mind maps. Thank you, Gian Maria.
L'ho detto in italiano.
Yeah, it's the same. That no, I had it in Italian or English, both. Was even worse. So yes, mind maps. So this is a very good way to learn a lot of vocabulary. So of course, now we are going to use some words. But what I'd like you to do is, after this exercise, if you add your own words to put in this table, I make it smaller so we can have all the words and see even the category. And let's see, where do you put them? In order to do that, let's try to do with colors so we can do it better. For example, I put a yellow. So now let's do a sort of treasure hunt. Okay. And you say one by one, if you want, in that box, meat, fish, or seafood. Anna, tell me meat, fish, or seafood.
Allora.
One.
Pork.
Pork. Antonella.
Lamb.
Lamb. Metka.
Salmon.
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 Yeah, the L is silent. Elena?
Truth e trota, non so.
Yes, trout. Very good. Trout. Trout. Gian Maria?
Lobster.
Lobster. Yes. Go on now again from Anna.
Beef.
Beef, of course. If you don't know some of these words, ask me. Beef. Anto?
Prawns.
Prawns. Perfect. Metka?
Veal.
Veal. Yes, where's the veal? Oh, here is veal. Yes, veal. Gian Maria, you muted. Is there anything? Yeah, there's another one. Just one missing. Meat.
Meat.
I know you're cooking fish, but
I know.
Not very tasty, this meat. You find it?
No, I know.
Anybody else?
Turkey.
Turkey. Yes, turkey. Turkey. Very
Turkey.
good. Turkey. Yes. Turkey.
In Italian, turkey is?
Tacchino.
Tacchino.
Proprio non fa parte del tacchino neanche. Ok, mettiamolo così. Now, let's get into fruit and vegetables. We make it red. Go, Gian Maria.
Vegetable pineapple.
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 Yes, pineapple. It's fruit. Yes. Anna?
Aubergine.
Aubergine or eggplants in American English.
Eggplant.
Antonella?
Cucumber.
Cucumber. Cucumber.
Cucumber.
Let's be careful. Cucumber.
Cucumber. Okay.
Cucumber. That is not.
No, cocomero.
Anguria.
Okay, good.
Anguria.
Non è anguria, no, 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 no. Ma è cetriolo.
Cetriolo.
Ah, è vero, è vero.
Cucumber.
I don't see all the words. I don't see all the words.
Okay. Here.
We are talking about vegetables. Carrot.
Yeah. Carrot. Elena?
Beetroot. No.
Beetroot. Yes, beetroot is a particular vegetable that actually we don't consume a lot in Italy, and is a part of all the beets. We don't do it. Ma è la rapa. Beetroot.
Non mi ricorderò mai.
Beetroot. And I think we made all of them. Yes, I think that probably they are.
Courgette?
Parsley?
Parsley è il prezzemolo.
No. Courgette. Yes,
Courgette.
sorry. Courgette. And in American English, they are zucchini. So yeah, you find in American English zucchini, but in British English is courgette. That is French, of course. And then we get into herbs. Herbs.
Oregano?
Oregano. Parsley.
Parsley.
Yes.
That's it, or?
And that's it for them. And then we got dish. So something that is completely prepared.
Sushi.
Sushi. Is the only one.
Grill.
No, grill è cooking
bake.
method.
Because then all the rest, there are cooking method. Okay, cooking method, they are boil, grill, bake. Okay, of course, they are not all of them. And I do invite you to fill in this table with more words. For example, let me say, let's say other words together. Let's try. Anna, 5 meat words.
5 meat words.
Jam?
What?
Jam? No, non è il prosciutto.
No. Ham.
Ham.
Jam is like marmalade.
Marmalade, sì, è vero.
Okay, so ham.
Mussel.
A mussel, they are seafood.
Seafood, yeah.
Seafood, okay. Let's get into meat
Squid.
at the moment. Meat, just
okay.
meat.
Meat.
Okay.
Meat.
We just say everything, all of you. So. Meat. Come on. What are the meat?
Lamb.
Lamb. I think we did it. C'era già, yeah.
Ah, okay. A new, okay.
Yeah, some new.
Chicken.
Or chicken breast or chicken legs.
Yeah.
Chicken. Then one important kind of meat. You take sausages from that. What are sausages made
Roast
of?
beef. Roast beef.
Roast beef actually is a dish.
Okay.
Pork, yes.
Pork c'era.
Pork,
C'era già.
there is a pork.
There
Yes.
was pork. So it could be pancetta. Pancetta.
Pepperoni.
when
fruit,
we do,
vegetable.
yeah, fruit. Okay, let's get into fruit and vegetables. Pepperoni,
Vegetables,
peppers,
peppers,
or capsicum.
Mushrooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
and orange,
Oranges. Yes, oranges.
Strawberry.
Strawberries.
strawberries. Then
Watermelon.
Melon.
apple,
Apple. Yeah.
Grapes.
grapes,
Very good. And what about dish?
roast beef,
Roast beef. Yes.
Lasagna.
And so many for
anche
us.
also pasta.
Pasta. Yes. Spaghetti.
Caesar salad.
Caesar salad.
Salad.
Yes. Bolognese. Spaghetti bolognese.
Mamma mia.
Okay. Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
And cooking method.
Aspetta. Boil,
Barbecue, it's possible. Barbecue.
Barbecue, yes,
grill.
barbecue, grill or barbecue, that's the same. For example, if I say steam, what kind?
Steam. Sì, steam.
Yeah,
Al vapore.
Yes, cooking method. Very good. Yeah. Very good. Fine. Okay. Now I'm giving you yes.
Friggere, come si dice
Fry. Ed era o stir fry o semplicemente fry. Ed ha l'eccezione perché fry, F-R-Y, ma quando è al passato o è aggettivo, fritto, fried, ok? And we lose the Y, we put I-E-D, fried. Fried chicken, roasted chicken, and so on. Ok, perfetto. Vi do questi qualche minuto di stop. Go around, do whatever you wish. I put the recording in pause, and in 5 minutes, we're back here to see something more about food and to see a video this time as well.
Ok.
Okay.
Attacco il computer.
Oh yeah.
Se no mi
Feel
molla.
free. Back. Yeah, you're right. There's no translation for comfort food, but I'd like you to give me your own idea of comfort food. So what kind of food would you think when we say comfort food, Metka?
Well, it's a kind of food that, I mean, it's something that we like, that give us satisfaction, that
and is there a particular food that you think?
Yes, I like every kind of food. Actually, well, you know, pasta, fish, meat, cheeses. Yes.
Yeah, pasta for you is comfort food. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And you, Anna, when you think of comfort food, which is the dish that is coming up to your mind?
Pizza.
Pizza. Pizza is comfort food. Pizza with mortazza that you know in your Roman holiday, in your Roman holidays. So that is
in Milan, no.
In Milan, unfortunately, the snow. You have to come more often to eat it.
Unfortunately, no.
Yes,
it's better. So.
It's better. And you, Anto?
The ice cream.
Ice cream, yes, I agree. Ice cream forever, every day. I think it's
a problem. It's a lot of problem.
It's a big problem. It's a real big problem. Yes, especially if you have a kiosk just around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you, Gian Maria, which is your comfort food?
For me, is all dish that my grandma
Ah, made.
cooking.
Yeah.
Uh, beautiful.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen the film Ratatouille?
Yeah.
When the critics is eating this ratatouille and is having just a moment in which he reminds going back in his childhood. Is fantastic, that piece. Okay, Elena, and you? Which is your idea of comfort food?
My idea of comfort food is everything with cream. It's not everything, croissant or dessert with cream. Cream is
lover. Cream lover.
Yes, I'm a cream.
Cream lover. Okay, so now we are going to watch a video where there are 20 people around the world that they do describe their dish, their comfort food dish. They are not Italian people, so we are going to see all around the world. This video is very interesting, even because we can have a glimpse of all the world, of course, but listen to the various accents. How do they speak English with their original accent? That is very interesting. And I think you would understand it very well. And I'm going to send it to you anyway later. So let me share it. This one. Okay, make it bigger. And let's start. So this video, it was issued during the pandemic period. So was a difficult period for everybody, but was a period in which food was one of the main protagonists in our life, because what we could do but cooking. So that's why they were just putting on the internet this nice video.
In these stressful and uncertain times of quarantine, people from all over the world are seeking comfort in food. Comfort food can fix any bad day. It's typically high in sugar, fat, and/or salt. And the beauty of comfort food is that it varies from person to person. It's rooted in where you're from and who you grew up with. We asked 20 people from different cultural backgrounds to share what comfort food is to them. I'll start with mine. My favorite comfort food is kimchi jjigae or kimchi stew. I'm Korean American, and growing up, my mom made kimchi jjigae pretty often for dinner. My mom's kimchi jjigae has that sonmat. Sonmat in Korean means like hand taste. The best way I can describe it is my mom's special touch. Even if I try to make my mom's kimchi jjigae here in New York City, I can't get that taste because it lacks my mom's special touch. So basically the flavors that you're getting are like spicy, salty, fatty, sour. It's basically everything that I crave when I'm missing my mom.
I'm Nigerian, and one of my favorite comfort foods has to be amala and okra soup. To make it, you take some yam flour and you pour it into boiling hot water, stir it up very quickly, and it gets to this nice thick consistency. From there, you portion it out to whatever size you'd like for your meal, and then you can dip it into your soup of choice. And not only is it a super tasty meal, but after you eat it, it hits you and it puts you in one of those nice food comas. I remember sneaking into the kitchen as a toddler and trying to tear off small pieces of amala or like the ear seeds that they put in the soup and taking it back to my playroom. So of course now, anytime that I have it, I just automatically think of home.
I'm Trinidadian, and my favorite comfort food is bacon saltfish. Bacon saltfish is a dish comprised of bake, which is dough rolled out, and a fish called bacalao. It's a salted cod that we chop up, we boil, and we saute with sweet tomatoes and sweet onions. I think it's my favorite comfort food just because it brings back a memory of my grandmother. She used to own a daycare, and whenever she was making something with dough, like bake, she would roll up little pieces of the dough and give it to the children to play with. And we would just go crazy for those little pieces of dough.
My favorite Haitian comfort food is griot. Griot is fried pork shoulder that has a special cut where it has just the right amount of fat and just the right amount of skin on it. You would season it well, bake it briefly, and then fry it. So after that, it'll get that nice crispy on the outside, tender on the inside taste. I can remember being as a child, every Haitian gathering, family party, if you had griot on your plate that night, you knew it was gonna be a good night.
My comfort food has always been pastina, which is like a really unhealthy version of Italian wedding soup. Has no vegetables, it's really just pasta and meatballs. So the way that my mom makes her meatballs is really what I always crave. She does a mix of ground pork, ground beef, and ground veal. And then she adds in just 5 ingredients. So the 5 ingredients are salt, pepper, garlic powder, parsley, and cheese. It's not just like Parmesan cheese, it's always Pecorino Romano cheese. That's like the go-to key ingredient. Whenever I go home or whenever I'm like sad or sick or whatever, that's what I want my mom to make me, or that's what I like want to eat.
I'm from New York, and my favorite comfort food is grilled cheese. Growing up as a picky eater, grilled cheese was the #1 thing I could get from every single family member and every single restaurant, and it'd be almost the exact same every single time. So today when I make grilled cheese for myself, I just use white or wheat bread, and I use white American cheese. It reminds me of being best friends with my mom.
I'm Allison Brown, and today we're going to talk about beef patties because that's my favorite Jamaican comfort food. Growing up, my father used to bring home like a box of beef patties, and he used to put them on the table, and it was first come, first serve, and if you did not get your beef patty, you would be tight. I love beef patties because of how diverse they are. You could get a beef patty, a callaloo patty, a ackee patty, any type of patty. My family is Jamaican. They're from Jamaica. I'm American. I was born here. But when we go to Jamaica, it's over. The patties are like hot and ready. They're delicious.
I'm from New York. I'm Dominican. And my favorite comfort food is mango. Mango is basically like mashed potatoes, but instead of potatoes, it's plantains. And it's a breakfast food, so most Dominicans will eat it in the morning. Mango is typically eaten with cebollas on top, which is onions, queso frito on the side, which is fried cheese, salami, which is a type of meat, and usually like some people will get a fried egg on it. Personally, I love eggs, so I always get it on it. The reason why mango is my favorite comfort food, besides the fact that it's delicious, is because it just reminds me of being in the Dominican Republic and just like being around great weather, sunny, like just an all-around great vibe.
My comfort food is pepper pot. It came from Guyana's first people known as the Amerindians. Pepper pot is a meal that is boiled with casserole and spices and any choice of meat. But my personal favorite is beef. It can be eaten with anything: bread, cassava bread, rice, anything you would like. Pepper pot reminds me of Christmas time and all the family time and our rich culture in Guyana.
My favorite comfort food is congee, a type of rice porridge. It's often eaten with yawata guai, also known as a Chinese donut. There are also many different types of congee. I've had it plain, with dried scallops, with preserved egg and salted pork, and just white fish. Growing up, my mom would make this for breakfast some days, and she would also make it for me when I was sick and I couldn't keep any solid foods down. My mom passed away in January of 2018, so the process of making congee and eating it reminds me of her love, her dedication, and her patience as my mother.
I'm Mexican American, and my favorite comfort food is tamales. Every year my grandma and her sisters get together and they all make tamales for us to eat on Christmas Eve, so it really reminds me of home and of Christmas time and of my family, so it's really special. My family makes the dish with shredded pork in a red chili sauce with green olives. Basically right now only my grandma and my aunts know how to make it, but they've started to teach me and my mom and my sisters how to do it, so that way we can pass it on to the next generation.
My favorite comfort food is Marmite on toast. It just has this really rich, really savory and quite salty flavor, and it's just really comforting, especially when it's put on some thickly buttered toast. I have very vivid memories of eating Marmite on toast, particularly when I was feeling a bit sick. I had an operation when I was 3 years old. I went under general anesthetic. When I woke up, the nurse said, "Is there anything we can get you?" and my first request was Marmite on toast.
My favorite comfort food is gutiao, or Thai noodle soup. Thai noodle soup is the Thai equivalent of what a deli sandwich is to New Yorkers, and you can customize each gutiao order to be your own. My go-to order is gutiao pet, so duck noodle soup with senmi, which are the rice noodles that are thinner than the ones you have in pho. And I only will eat it in this one noodle shop, and I refuse to have it elsewhere because they just make it so special. And it sucks because I can't really replicate that experience in any Thai restaurant here since they don't really specialize in that. My favorite comfort food are Colombian arepas. Arepas are cornmeal patties. They're typically made with salt, water, and masarepa. This is my favorite comfort food because when I was a kid, my dad and I did not have matching schedules at all. So by the time we would get home, I was already sleeping and we wouldn't see each other till the weekend. And at the weekends, our favorite family time activity was to make arepas. It was also the first meal I learned how to make. So we're gathered in our tiny kitchen, mold them together, put it in a stovetop, and then once they were ready and hot, my dad would put butter on top, sprinkle it with a little bit of cheese, and it was delicious, and it's still one of my favorite meals.
My favorite comfort food is Puerto Rican pasteles de yuca. In Spanish, we call it a masa. It's like a doughy kind of thing that has like, you can put stuff in it. So you can put like meat, chicken, you can put vegetables. And then they wrap it around a banana leaf and then they boil it. And we make them in bulk. And it takes 2 to 3 days to make. It's my favorite comfort food because my aunts and my mom, they sit around, we talk, and they're making this dish that is so reminiscent of our Puerto Rican culture.
My comfort food is lahmacun. It's a thin flatbread, almost like pizza, that's enjoyed in and around the Middle East. It's typically made by taking small dough balls and flattening them into really thin pieces, and then it's topped with beef or lamb, some vegetables and spices, and then it's cooked in the oven for just a few minutes. My family and I typically buy a dozen or so of them from Armenian bakeries or grocery stores here in LA because they make them really tasty.
My comfort food is ají de gallina. It's a spicy chicken mixture that my grandma used to make all the time. A yellow pepper that's found in Peru, ají amarillo, is mixed with, you saute some onions, then you're gonna add some chicken broth, milk, and crackers or bread. It's a nice little paste sauce. And then with some boiled chicken that you shredded. Ají de gallina reminds me of just Peru in general, living there. My grandfather had 50, 80 chickens, and my grandma would just grab one and it would be fresh.
I'm British Pakistani, and my favourite comfort food is a dish called aloo ki tarkari. The reason I love this dish so much is because it's a curry. It's very carby as opposed to one with lots of gravy. My mum usually adds to it aloo, potatoes, mirch, chili, namak, salt, haldi, turmeric, and then she adds something called panch phoron, which is a blend of 5 spices. You blend the spices, you fry them, you add your chopped up potatoes, add water, boil the water off and let the potatoes break up. It's really heartwarming, very flavoursome, and it also reminds me of coming home from school and cooking with my mum. Learning to cook with my nanny, my mum's mum, who passed away a few years back.
My 2 favorite Brazilian comfort foods are cheese bread and feijoada. For cheese bread, there's definitely not an occasion. It's just everywhere, all the time. You can eat it at any time of the day. It's without a doubt the food that I miss the most because it's just the perfect snack. Feijoada is basically a giant black bean soup. It's definitely something that I grew up eating, and it's very iconic in Brazil. Almost everyone eats it.
My favorite comfort food has to be full, which is fava beans, and it's usually served hot, and it's really easy to make, so that's why we make it all the time. It contains tomatoes, onions, some people put tahina in it. We put in it a lot of spices. Usually people eat it with pita bread. It's my favorite comfort food because over the summer my grandpa would make it for breakfast a lot, so I'd wake up and it would be there. So it reminds me a lot of home.
As social beings, social distancing may not be easy. Let's do what we can and make the most of it by enjoying our favorite comfort foods. Let us know what your favorite comfort food is and why in the comment section below.
Okay. So I made I have an idea that all the food that we have just watched now have got one thing in common, that no one has a beautiful, I mean, it's not beautiful like, you know, the chef that they are cooking food, and of course the presentation is important. And all this food, I didn't see anything that was beautiful, but they were all tasty looking. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. So other ideas that they come out from this video, something in common, for example?
Yeah, many people said that he or she remember the grandmother, the mother with this food, is with childhood, with child.
In the child.
Connect with the child.
Or if they are far away, so their countries. Yeah, that is the comfort food is associated, like we started, with something that is just moving, that is giving us feelings, not just taste. So comfort food is a matter of taste, but also of feeling. Okay. I'd like you now, let's see. This one, no. Because I want to let you play with food. Starting with the origin of food. I'm gonna close all my windows, plenty of windows here. Okay, food sources. Let's talk about food sources. Where are these kind of food coming from? Okay, so we have different categories. They could be meat or okay, food sources. We have all the food here, okay, and we have to put them in their own category. I've just made 3 big categories that are plants, animals, and sea, more or less. Okay, so each one is taking one food and putting in its category, and or can change what the other colleagues said. Okay, let's start, Anna.
Cucumber.
Cucumber. Yeah.
Cucumber. Plants.
Plants. Even not in order. If you don't know what is a picture, jump on to the next one. Okay, Anto.
Okay, cherry.
Cherries, yes.
Plants.
Plants. Matka.
Eggs. Animals.
Animals. Elena.
Butter. Animal.
Yes, animal. Gian Maria.
Squid is sea.
Squid, where are the squid?
On the right, on the right.
Okay, yeah. Sea. Yeah, nice. And again, Anna Antonella, Matka, Ellen, Gian Maria.
Stick. Animals.
Steak, human.
Steak.
Don't say
Animals.
stick. Steak.
Okay.
Yes. Salmon, sea.
Salmon.
Salmon.
The L is silent. Salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon. Matka.
What is mackerel? Some kind of fish? Mackerel?
It is the mackerel. The mackerel. Do you know the mackerel?
No.
No.
Usually the mackerel is
Spigola.
no?
No.
No.
Maccarello,
called
maccarello.
maccarello, and is very much used in Northern Sea, and they use it smoked. You find it smoked like the herrings. You know the herrings, le ringhe? They make it in the same, it's very similar, and they make it smoked and they sell already smoked like herrings. It's very nice because it's not so strong taste like the herrings. It's a little bit more delicate and is of the Northern Sea.
But in Italian è maccarello?
Maccarello, sì, sì. I used to buy it when I was living in England. Every time I was coming here, I was buying a lot of mackerel, you know, because it was, I could buy it. And here they made with herbs or pepper on it. It's very nice. I mean, I liked it. I don't know. Okay, Elena?
Custard is my thing. Animals.
Custard, yes. Maria?
Mussels.
Oh, yeah, your mussels.
Sì.
Mussels, yes.
Yeah, mussels.
Langoustine.
Langoustine.
Sì.
Sì.
Baked beans.
Baked beans?
Well, we are talking about plants.
Plants. Anto?
Chips.
Chips.
Plants.
Plants. Helena?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms, yep.
Plants. Or anima. Plants. Plants.
Yes, they are. Maria? You left the most difficult. Yeah.
Chocolate. Plants.
Banana plants.
Yeah.
Stilton.
Oh, what, Metka?
I don't know Stilton, but seems like a piece of cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, so animals.
Stilton is British, but it's similar to our
Gorgonzola.
Yes,
Gorgonzola.
very similar. Yeah. Anto?
Oh, sorry. Lamb's chops.
Yeah.
Animals.
Lamb chops. Everything is in a chop. They are not very small pieces, but quite big pieces, chops. Okay. Elena?
Caviar, C.
Caviar is C.
For me, is animals, like eggs.
Yes, but
yes.
You find in the sea.
Scusami Paolo, dico in italiano, ma
Caviar.
sì, acqua dolce, cioè non c'è distinzione.
No, seafood
Okay.
is, let's say water, yes, you're right. Because usually seafood, yes, even the trout usually is not from the sea, but still, yeah.
Water.
Anna?
Sì. Seaweed salad, sì. I think.
Yeah.
Mines.
Yes,
Betka. Seems meat, carne macinata, could be.
Mince, yes, it is.
It's carne so animals, yes. Animals.
Yeah, remember during Christmas period in England, they used to eat mince pie, but mince pie, they are not filled with meat, but with fruit, but they are called mince pie. I don't know if you ever been to England or seen during Christmas period, and they have this pies, small pies, filled with fruit, something like plums or jam, something like cherries, something like that, but they are called mince pies. Per cui non crediate che prendete queste cosine ripiene, questi ravioli ripieni che dentro c'è la carne, li andate a mangiare, sono dolci. Le mince pie sono tipici dolcetti del periodo natalizio e dentro c'è di solito le prugne, si fanno, che era l'unica frutta locale che si trovava una volta in Gran Bretagna. Anto.
Okay, sorry. Ice cream, animal.
Unfortunately.
Animal.
And Elena?
Squash.
Squash.
Plants.
Squash. You probably know the word pumpkin. That is much, but the pumpkin is the one that is big and round. Those usually, they have many varieties of squash. Squash is everything and usually can be like this or in a different shape, but they are like pumpkins, the same. Gian Maria.
Scallop is a plant.
It's a plant.
No, animals. Animals.
Animals.
What is a scallop?
I will tell you. If you don't understand from the picture, I'm telling you. And
Seems
Anna?
mushroom in the
They're
picture. I don't know the picture. The picture.
Arachidi, forse.
Not
Cashew.
really.
Cashews.
Cashews are what?
I guess. See.
See. And what about tides?
I think.
Do you see what are tides?
For me, it's animals, but I don't know what it
Animals.
is.
So we could put something. So there should be a mistake.
Invert scallop with
Where do I put it?
Plants.
Plants.
No.
And put
No,
tides
I think
here.
you see scallop.
Scallop. So you know what scallop are, Anto.
Capesante, forse.
Yeah, that's it.
Capesante.
That's it. Scallop. And what are tides? Think of your body. If I say touch your tides, where are your tides?
Start. No.
No. No.
Tight.
Let me show you. So let me see if I can. So if you are this, oh gosh, can't do it. This is the leg. Okay, this part is the leg, but this part, the upper part, is the tide. Okay, is the thigh. The thigh is the upper part because the leg is where the calf is. So the leg is the bottom part and the upper part is the thigh.
Sorry Paola, stinco?
No, stinco è il calf. Ed è leg. All the calf is the back part of the leg. Giusto? Il calf, lo stinco, il polpaccio, è la parte dietro della gamba. Ma la parte sopra non si chiama gamba neanche in italiano. Brava, è la coscia.
La coscia.
Le sono cosce, in effetti, sì.
Sono coscette.
Okay.
Yes. And then what else? Oh, cashews. This is a very nice nut. It's a nut made like a sea. It's called in Italian anacardi.
Allora nozzi.
Plants.
It's not
Plants.
C.
Plants.
It's plants. Okay. So let's get an C. Now that you adjust everything is okay. Yeah.
Sari, no, scallop, sì, le capesante. Ok.
Capesante, yes. Now let's get into food adjectives. So when we are talking about food, especially comfort food, we have to express our feelings with some adjectives. So if I ask you to describe your comfort food, for example, Antonella, ice cream, which adjective would you use to describe your favorite ice cream?
Delicious.
Delicious.
And then I think that I feel the smiler.
The smell, yeah,
Smell,
smelly.
yeah.
So smelly.
Smelly, yeah.
Yeah.
And then satisfied.
Satisfying. Yeah, satisfying.
Yeah.
Any other adjective?
Tasty.
Tasty, yes, tasty.
What does mean tasty?
Tasty, gustoso. So the taste è il sapore. When we say something that is tasty, non è solo che ha un sapore, ma gli diamo un significato, a good one. So if it's tasty, it means gustoso. Okay. And if we don't like it, how can it be? What kind of food you don't like? Probably when it's
disgusting.
Disgusting?
Too much.
Yeah. Or yeah, it's a bit strong, disgusting. Or
bad food. Bad food.
Bad food.
Salty.
Salty. That can be good or bad. If it's too salty, when it's too much salty, it's not good. Yes, of course. Or other adjectives that come up to your mind?
Bitter.
Bitter. Yeah, bitter food. Usually we don't like bitter food unless it's mixed with something different. Okay, let's get into this game. We have a multiple choice. We have a picture. And so you have to find out the right one. Anna.
Crunchy.
Crunchy. So you think that these are crunchy? And they are crunchy.
Come croccante, crunchy?
Yes, that's it. No, it is not croccante. È proprio crunchy. Sì, è croccante. Non c'è...
È friabile, no?
No, è proprio croccante. Sì, è meglio croccante. I salatini, perché you have to keep in mind that a lot of these adjectives are onomatopoeic. So they are crunchy because when you chew it, you do crunch, crunch, crunch. Yeah, a lot of adjectives there are. Okay, Anto, how is this grapefruit?
Bitter.
It's bitter. Matka, this food, it doesn't seem too appealing.
Let's see the plate. There are potatoes and then?
There are asparagus.
Chicken.
A piece of
chicken. Triste.
Sad. It's very sad. It's another adjective. But how do we call when a food is so sad? This is not comfort food. In Italian, we probably call it hospital food.
Hospital food.
Well, my God.
And as an
Maybe
adjective,
could be, I don't know, because I don't know the word. Maybe soft. Or
do you think it's soft?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I'm not sure.
Bland or flaky?
Gian Maria is suggesting bland, and it is bland. So
bland
without any taste. Bland. Yes, that's it. Perfect. Oh, this is Elena, just for you.
Yeah. Creamy.
This is creamy. Even if it's salted, it's not a dessert, but it's creamy. Creamy. Gian Maria?
Flaky.
This is flaky. Flaky when you got all the various
Friabile.
friabile. Yes.
Hard.
They are all very hard. Just. I mean, even you can use all the adjectives, normal adjectives that usually we don't use for food, but in this case, they are valid. So don't think that you have to learn new adjective for food, because any adjective, it could fit.
Paola,
Yeah, tell me.
The opposite of is blend for food.
No, hard, the opposite is soft.
Soft.
Hard and soft. Okay, so but this one was easy, Anto.
Spicy.
Spicy, of course. This is spicy. Even spicy has a double meaning, because in this meaning in spices, or when you put herbs, it could be spicy with many herbs, but not necessarily hot. This is spicy and hot. Matka.
These are sweets.
These are definitely sweet. Yes, they must be sweet.
Sweet.
Oh, Elena.
Chewy.
I think you know this word because you know the word chewing gum.
Chewing gum.
Chewy. Chom, 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 chom. Again, onomatopoeic. Chewy. These are all chewy things. That, how can we say in Italian?
Gommoso.
Gommoso. Yes,
Ciccoso si dice.
Gigommoso a Milano.
Gigommoso is beautiful.
Ciccoso, non
La
gigommoso.
cigumma.
Ciccoso,
Yeah. These are the translation in various dialects. For example, in what do you say in la cingumma? Cingumma in Emilia they call la cingumma.
Sì, la gomma anche nelle Marche.
Ah,
Cingumma.
vedi?
Sì.
Cingumma. That is coming from chewing gum.
Chewing gum.
Chewing
Sì.
gum, cingumma.
Broccolinese.
Yeah, that's it.
Milano, chewing gum si dice cicca.
La
cui
cicca.
ciccoso.
È ciccoso. E a Roma la cicca invece è
la
il mozzicone della sigaretta.
Lo so.
Yeah, no. Gian Maria.
Smooth.
Yes, you know, when it's something, you see the surface is all smooth, not bumpy.
Questa salty.
You think it's salty? How do you know this is salty?
No, hot,
Ah. Because you cannot know if it's salty or not. It could be sweet. If I put sugar already,
I don't like so.
because you don't like, so you just refuse it. It's hot.
Yes, hot.
Yes, it's hot. Anto.
Strong.
Yeah, these are strong tastes.
taste,
Yeah,
yeah.
very strong taste. Marca.
Let me see the picture. I must see the picture because I have this small telephone. So this is
I think it's a smashed potatoes.
potatoes.
I think they are smashed potatoes.
With the eggs, perhaps.
Oh, with eggs or with oil? I don't understand.
don't know, I don't
Maybe,
know.
yeah.
Potatoes.
Some herbs.
White.
Yeah, yeah.
Soft.
It is soft, yes. Elena.
Sour.
Sour, yes, sour. Sour. Germany, of course. No doubt.
Salty.
Salty.
Salty. Salty.
Very good. I should have some more here. Let me see one moment. By the way, I have to tell you before I forget, because I'm afraid to forget it, that on the 28th, that is should be our last lesson. I'm not in because I'm at the Teatro del Lido having a show for children. So if you want to come to the Teatro del Lido, you're all invited, and you will have fun, me doing these things for children. But we will move our lesson in another day. I will probably send you a doodle where you tell me which one is the date that you prefer, the day before or the day after or the week after, as you wish. Okay.
Okay.
Let me get here. I was looking for this food. Then always talking about food. Food. So the difference between food, dish, and meal. Sometimes you can get confused with food, especially dish and meal. Let me get on it. Okay, here we are. Okay.
Food, dish,
dish, meal, and other vocabs. Okay, what is this? These are foods, meals, or dishes?
For me, dishes.
Dishes.
Moussaka.
Dishes. It is dishes. So it's prepared. Not a plate, remember, because the plate is empty.
Dish.
Okay, what about there?
Food.
This is food when we talk about raw or cooked in general. Yes, good.
Meal.
No, that's a dish. It's always a dish. Even if it's more complex, this is roast beef with other things.
Ma è venuto fuori food? Torna indietro un attimo.
No, è dishes.
Ah,
Ho
dishes.
sbagliato. Ah. Ma ancora è dishes. Yeah.
Ok.
2 meals.
Meals.
Food.
Meals, breakfast and dinner.
Yeah, sorry. The cost of for your stay includes 2 meals a day. Because I'm sorry, that was related probably with a sentence. So we
Okay.
should read the sentence.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So we didn't read the sentence. So sometimes the picture cannot be completely 100% describing the solution. Okay, so here is, sorry, I forgot it. Moussaka is one of the most delicious
Dishes.
I didn't say dishes you can eat in my country. Okay, then, and it was okay. Too many people eat food directly from the fridge, which is not always very healthy. And I'm quite surprised, but I really enjoyed English. That's why they say food. Okay, it's not English, but we can also say English dishes. For me, this is English dishes. Okay, this is Yorkshire pudding. Do you know Yorkshire pudding?
No.
No.
There's a sort of empty bread, salty empty bread that you eat usually with, this is roast beef and roasted potatoes and vegetables, and this is gravy. It's called gravy. Gravy in English is usually cooked with a meat, but then separate from it and put on it. Yeah. Gravy.
Okay.
Okay, the cost of your stay includes 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner. This should be an aircraft when they were serving meals on aircrafts. Now they're not anymore.
But meals is like pranzo, cena in Italian.
That's it. That's it. Okay. This beef is really tasty, isn't it?
Beef.
Dish.
Beef food. You say beef food?
This meal.
Beef meal?
Dish.
Or beef
Dish.
dish?
Dish.
Fish.
A beef dish. Un piatto di carne. Okay. A beef dish. The in my country is delicious.
Food.
Food. When I will visit you, I could cook a
Meal.
A meal. No?
No,
A
dish.
Because you don't
Prima
cook a meal.
Mille è pasto, non ho capito.
Yes, you prepare a meal, but you cook a dish.
Yes.
Ok.
Questo stai? Questo l'ho già fatto.
Yes. Sometimes you can get. Now there was another one that was with. This one. Where there's find a match. So we are going to see some pictures and we have to choose the word from a list that we have underneath. But we have just 3 possibility of mistakes. Otherwise, they start again.
Okay.
Aspettate che I'm moving.
Spices.
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 Herbs. No.
Spices.
Decide. Tell me. You decide.
Spices. Yes.
For me, it's herbs.
No. Yes. Spices. No, these are spices because they are. I'll tell you the difference after.
Okay.
Vegetables.
Vegetables.
careful with the pronunciation. Vegetables.
Vegetables. Vegetables.
Cream.
Yeah.
Cream.
Cream.
Lasagna.
Lasagne. Lasagne.
The plural is lasagnas or lasagnas. It depends, but they are wrong anyway.
Ah, they're wrong. Ah.
Yes, because lasagnas.
Si fa sentire. Questo?
Chicken.
Sì.
No.
No.
Curry. Allora curry.
Curry.
Pollo al curry.
Cheese.
Cheese. And pears.
And pears.
Don't say.
Herbs.
Herbs. So you see, the herbs are the original plants. Whilst the spicy is when you took them and you work on them.
Spicy sono le spezie, herbe sono le erbette proprio, herbs.
Diciamo che sono quelle più fresche, mentre invece gli spices sono anche combinazione di erbe elaborate, diciamo.
Salad.
Basil. Strawberries.
Fruit.
Be careful with the pronunciation, but you did well. Fruit. There's no I. Sauces. Very good. These are sauces.
Chicken.
That's chicken.
Poveraccio.
Diet chicken.
Mushrooms.
And of course, the one that you get wrong
Curry.
Is the curry.
This is the chicken curry, yeah? Okay.
Curry. Yes, but British people, when they talk about curry, they mean this. We mean the spice because we are very detailed. So when we talk about curry, we never say curry as a dish. English people, they do. If you say, let's eat a curry, you go and eat chicken curry. Just because is what we were telling at the beginning. They don't have the culture of food. So food is something that they are still learning about it. It's not something that we learn since we are child, like in Italy. In Italy, for example, the picture basil, you say, all of you, they say basil. Ask to a British child or to a British adult, what is that plant? They say, I don't know. Probably they make confusion between rosemary and basil, that for us, it's unbelievable. But it is a matter of culture.
The German people are the same problem. For them, is vegetable spinach. When they are green,
yeah, spinach.
Spinach.
Unbelievable, yeah. Yeah. And like beet, the English people, they say that the green thing, they're all beets. They are not beets. Le bietole, tutte rape, bietole, etc. It's the same. In fact, to find out, I got my friend that is living in Germany yeah, for more than 30 years. So now she's German, but she's a dietist and she's a cook. So unfortunately, she's really struggling even with with people that shop owners, because she cannot find what she wants, and to buy real food, a bit that is not typical German food, she has to go to Turkish shops, because Turkish shops, they do have everything, all vegetables that usually the other they don't.
Also in Netherlands.
Yeah, the same, more or less, all the northern
Turkish
countries.
shop,
Yeah. Okay, people, I'm going to get an aperitivo, my friends, and I see you on Thursday. Don't
Okay.
forget. Okay.
Thank
Big
you.
kiss.
Bye
See
bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.